Welcome, folks, to another episode of Timer 66 News and Updates. Today we're going to be talking about fire danger in California and how bad the fires were last year. This will be your wildfire update. Before we jump into this video, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do, and ring the bell for future updates. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it. All comments are welcome. Looks like we're going to have another bad fire year here in the state of California. We always have bad fire seasons, but this year might even be worse than last year with all the dry timber that's left and dry brush standing around that didn't burn all the way last year and didn't have a chance to get it harvested out due to winter. Was going to get really dry this year. California reports third driest year on record. This is the third driest year on record, folks, throughout the state of California. We might still get some more rain here, which we had very little this year, but all that's going to do is make the grass grow taller and dry out even sooner, make it more fire hazard. A snow survey in California revealed that the state only received about 50% of its average precipitation during the 2021 water year, tying it for the third driest on record. The snow survey, which is conducted annually by the Department of Water Resources, record precipitation for the water year, which extends from October to March. The survey recorded a snow depth about 49.5 inches and a snow water equivalent, which measures the amount of water contained within the snowpack of 21 inches on April 1st. That's not much, folks, but you got to remember that 21 inches of water from the snow is just in the very, very high areas of California in the mountains that is going to melt and run off. The valley areas and where we live right here got very little moisture at all. April 1st is typically when snowpack is at its deepest in the state and has the highest snow water equivalent. With below average precipitation statewide, California reservoirs continue to show the impacts due to dry conditions. Sean D. Guzman, Chief of Snow Surveys for the California Department of Water. It's been a very strange and mild winter this year, just like including today. Temperatures for the higher in the 30s, and we actually had snow flurries all over the place, but nothing that stuck to the ground. This year's water season tied for the third driest on record with the 2014 season. The second driest year on record was 1924, and the driest on record was 1977, with an area of high pressure parked off the west coast and deflected storms away from California instead of pushing them into the Pacific Northwest. Precipitation during the 1977 water year was less than 35% of average, according to the report from the Comptroller General of the United States. So a pretty dry year, folks. The next good chance for rain across southern and central portions of California may not be until the middle of the latter part of the North American monsoon season, which begins on June 15th and ends on September 30th, according to AccuWeather lead long-range forecaster Paul Pestelok. Like I said, folks, pretty dry. We've had a very, very mild winter. It hasn't even been that cold. It was cold, but not way below zero temperatures in most of California. But rain has just been very few this year. We had one good snowstorm and just a couple dustings, and that was it. But the snow melted and went away, burned off real quick within a few days, so there's nothing really up in the hills or anything. There is no doubt California is in a critical dry year. State agencies, water suppliers, and Californians are more prepared than ever to adapt to dry conditions and meet the challenges that may be ahead, Department of Water Resources Director Kyla Newman said in a statement. But again, folks, we remember that fire season last year. I reported it on. It burned all around for Northern California, Susanville, California, Redding, California, and down in the Valley of California and Southern California. Record-breaking fires. And here are some of the record-breaking fires and acres that was burned. I know it's a little hard to see, folks, but this is what was burned last year. Over 4 million acres in the state of California. That's just unreal. A lot of acres burned. And this is how many structures that burned, how many fatalities, just and how many fires there was. It was the amount of fires that was unreal. I had a map I was going to put up to show all the dots throughout the state of California, and the whole state was almost, the dots were almost touching. Like I said, last year was just a very bad fire danger, and this year it's like what the sailors would say out when a bad storm was coming, the calm before the storm. It's what we got going on here in California with all the dead timber, burned up timber that's still standing. All the fires did, unless it was extremely hot fire, was just killed the trees. It didn't burn them all. But now they're drying out, and that's even a bigger fire hazard, because most of the trees that were logs before, that could have been used for logs, cannot be used for logs now, so they'll be left standing more than likely. The 2020 fire season. The 2020 California wildfire season was characterized as a record-setting year of wildfires that burned across the state of California, as measured during the modern era of fire management and record keeping. As of the end of the year, nearly 10,000 fires, yes folks, 10,000 separate fires have burned over 4.2 million acres. More than 4% of the state's roughly 100 millions of land. That's just unreal. California's largest wildfire season recorded in California modern history. California's August complex fire, which I reported on all of that last year along with a whole lot of other fires, has been described as the first Gigafire. Yes, folks, Gigafire. That's as big as they could get. As the area burned exceeded 1 million acres. Yes, a Gigafire is 1 million acres or more. That's a massive fire. The fire crossed several counties and has been described as being larger than the whole state of Rhode Island. That's from one fire, folks. We had over 10,000 fires here in California. There was a fire that it's very hard to breathe for 1 month, and another one for like 5 weeks where we live. Again, it was just, you never seen the sun the whole summer. On August 19, 2020, California Governor Gavin Newsom, everyone's best friend, reported that the state was battling 367 known fires at one time, many sparked by intense thunderstorms of August 16th to 17th. In early September 2020, all those lightning thunderstorms actually didn't have much precipitation. A lot of them was just lightning with no moisture at all. A combination of a record-breaking heat wave and Diablo and Santa Ana winds sparked more fires, and explosions grew the actual fires explosively, with the August complex more than doubling the Mendocino complex size to become California's largest recorded wildfire. It was big, folks. We had temperatures 90s, low hundreds for almost a whole month. But what makes it bad here in California is Northern California is our humidity here. Down south they get a little bit of humidity. Excuse me for stuttering on that word. But up here in far Northern California, we get 10, 12, 8% humidity within the 90s outside. And if you haven't been in low humidity with that high a temperature, it's not something to look forward to. Just like I couldn't handle being high humidity with high heat, it's hard for folks back east to handle no humidity like this. You can step outside and get a suntan if you can within a matter of 20 minutes. You can fill up a glass of water, sit it outside in the morning, and the whole glass, a tall glass, will evaporate in one day, along with the swimming pool. I actually thought I had a leak in my swimming pool, but no. It was just evaporating 3 or 4 inches of water a day. That's what dry humidity does. Again, we're on a record-breaking year here on fires. Third record breaker, holding the record now for the driest winter on record. And I'll keep everyone updated here. And hopefully we don't get too many fires, but it's sure looking like we're going to get quite a few this year with another bad California fire year. Again, folks, like this channel, subscribe, ring the bell for future updates. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it. Most of all, take care and be safe.